Okay guys, so in the previous video, I just talked about how this vehicle has three sides that are inaccessible to you due to gaskets on the A-pillars in the bottom. Now, in reality, on this M3, you can actually remove these side gaskets like I'm doing right now, accessing the side glass to lay down the kit. So really on a vehicle like the M3, after you remove the side gaskets, you'll only have to trim the bottom. Now, on some vehicles, specifically the C8 Corvette and the C7 Corvette, you are unable to remove the side gasket. So what we're gonna show you right now is just gonna show you how to lay the film down on the glass for a vehicle that has side gaskets that you can't remove, and how you orient the film and then cut it. So we're gonna spray the windshield down with our slip solution. This car's already been clean prepped. This is how our kits are packaged. So they come in a cardboard tube, a heavy duty cardboard tube. They're wrapped around a core and then wrapped in this foam to protect the kit, all right? The way the kit's wrapped is identical to how film is wrapped, in which the liner is wrapped around the core. So what I'm gonna do is, right now I'm fitting this kit to the windshield with the liner still on. This is part of the installation process called the wet check, all right? In our full installation tutorial video, we go more in detail on each and every step. This specific video series here, like I mentioned before, is just identifying how you orient the film on cars that have gaskets that you can't remove or have edges that are inaccessible, to ensure that when you trim the film in the correct orientation, all right? So as I mentioned, what we're showing you right here is we're showing you a vehicle that you can't remove a side gasket on the A-pillar, okay? So as we lay this film down, you can see that the fit of this kit is actually really good, right? We don't have massive fingers anywhere. Now obviously, the kit is butting up against this gasket. Just another thing to point out, this sticker is on the liner. This sticker identifies the make and model of the vehicle. So, as I mentioned before, I'm showing you how to orient the film and cut the film for vehicles that you have side gaskets on the A-pillars that you cannot remove. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift the film down so that the film is aligned with the top of the car. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to orient the film so that each edge is overlapping each side gasket equally. What you do not want to do is you do not want to orient the film so one edge of the film is aligned with the gasket and one edge is overlapped, and then only trim one edge. You want to trim both edges. And the reason for that is, if I were to shift this film to the right, have it aligned on the passenger side A-pillar, and then only trim the driver's side A-pillar, when I went to reinstall this film, if I were to equally orient this film on the glass, the film would actually not be covering the glass in the way that it was originally heat shrunk. And that might cause fitment issues for you down the road. So what you're gonna do is you're going to align the film so it's covering the passenger side gasket as well as the driver's side gasket equally, okay? And then you're gonna lay the film down. You're gonna make sure that it's aligned at the top edge and the bottom edge. And then using whatever method you're comfortable with trimming, you're gonna use. We have a lot of customers that will use a wax pen to draw a line, and they'll draw the line where that gasket is and then trim after the fact, or they'll use their stainless steel blade and go ahead and trim that gasket. So just to recap what the purpose of this specific video is for. This specific video is showing you how to orient the film on a vehicle that has gaskets on the A-pillars that are not able to be removed. As I mentioned before, on this M3 you can remove this gasket, but for the purposes of this video we're going to imagine that we can't. The specific vehicles that I mentioned before and cited were the Corvette C8, C7, and C6. They have gaskets that you just simply can't remove. So what you're going to do is you're going to orient the film so it's evenly oriented across the film. It's covering each of the A-pillar gaskets evenly, and then you're going to trim the same off the passenger side A-pillar as you are off the driver's side A-pillar. All right, so this concludes this video. We're going to move on to the next video in the series.